is the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we are going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
Do you drool? How often and when? It's a good one.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Now, here's the really weird part about it, is that I rarely do at my own home. As soon as you put me in someone else's home and hand me one of their pillows, all of the sudden, I am like waking myself up with the amount of drool that's coming out of my mouth. Like, here's just a prime example. I was just napping at one of my girlfriend's places, and I woke up and it was just a nap, and there was like a full big circle of drool. And as she comes in, there was just no even hiding it. It just was too soon. I was just like, I drooled a lot. She's like, sure did. You did, didn't you? And it's, and you got, because they know that it's like, okay, well, I was going to wash it anyways. But now, like, did I have a pillow cover over this? Like a protector? Oh. Have you ruined my pillow? I'm like, probably. So it's really weird because I really do drool when I'm at other people's houses, not so much my own.
You have like real good sleeps there, you know, maybe.
Yeah, just a lot of trust in other people's homes. That's good.
I drool a lot, like not just in my sleep. I will drool so much in my sleep sometimes that it'll wake me up because I'm like, woo, things got a little moist on the face.
Right.
But in conversation, you're going to notice this around me now when we hang out, where we'll have a candid conversation. I'll just be like, I drooled. And then the worst is when it happens on TV, because if I'm broadcasting and the drool comes down, and then I'll have a mental, like, can they see the drool? Do I wipe the drool? Like the person that I'm talking to can see the drool. Do I acknowledge the drool? So I think about drool probably a little bit more than the average person.
I'm going to watch for it now. This is so exciting.
Though.
This is good.
No shame.
I'm going to write you an email like that guy did. Clean your shit up.
Your pants.
Clean that shit up on your face next time. Yeah, give you a kick in the crotch.
Are you a drooler, Richelle?
Oh my God. I drool when I smell something. Like, not everything. Okay, let me rephrase that. Like salt and vinegar chips. If I whiff that anywhere near me, I'll just drool without even being able to control it. Just like talking about it.
Right.
Yeah, like I just start drooling and I cannot help it. Yes. Or if I'm at the dentist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That, the sucky thing. And every time I was like, a lot of saliva. And it's just
every time.
Just like sucks nonstop. It's nonstop.
But you're like, doesn't everyone, or else you wouldn't have a wand that sucks the saliva.
Yeah. I think they're just always a little surprised that it never has to stop. Like there's never a moment where it gets a rest when it's my appointment, apparently.
Some people more than others, I think, because usually she gets annoyed with me. I'm like, put it in. The ladies or the men that do the
every
teething.
Time I need to get a new one right after your appointment.
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah. I think most people drool in their sleep to some extent. Maybe not.
I'm not often. I don't very often. Like maybe like once
right.
Yours
in a blue moon. You're awake.
Yeah, I'm totally awake. So like every now and again, okay, like maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, I'll wake up and you got that you're stuck to your pillow
every day.
But like never. I don't know. I'm like always mouth shut. I don't know what my problem is. Maybe I'm not as relaxed as others.
You do have cleaner pillowcases than I do.
Thank you.
Be thankful. Be thankful.
Be thankful.
I do. I will. Friends
invite you back. Be thankful. Okay. I don't get invited back as much. Okay. Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
What's a sound that you just cannot stand to hear?
Oh, a fork on the plate. Cannot do it. Horrible. Fork or knife on the plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The slip.
Everyone's
like, ugh.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, that happened.
Right. Okay.
I can't handle if you're in a car or traveling on a train and the window's down on one side just a little bit. And so not only do you have the pressure, but it's like that. Yes. Oh God. Instantly I'm like, get them up. There's a window.
Get them up.
Yeah.
It is a terrible sound on your ears, isn't it?
So bad.
It's like the window's going to break. It's just not good.
The window, my eardrums are like,
yeah.
I agree. I'm in cahoots with that one, actually.
Yeah. I think everybody would be, because it actually hurts. Like the pressure of that, you can actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, mine's a pretty strange one. So if there's ever like tape on cardboard, so like, which most cardboard boxes or whatever, and they makes me want to even thinking about it. When you yank yanking the tape off, my mouth is, talk about salivating. I'm so uncomfortable right now describing it that my mouth started watering. I have heebie-jeebies. And so what? I have to so at Christmas time and stuff, when people are just like, it's disgusting. So
I'm laughing because I literally can't touch cardboard if I've just washed my hands. The feeling, and it makes a sound. It's like a shh. That's so funny. I'm so with you on weird cardboard.
Yeah. Like I have to plug my ears and be like, la, 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 if it's happening. Cause like just that is so bad. And I've been places for whatever reason. I can't think of where or why, but where it wasn't appropriate for me to be like, you need to stop that. You cannot do that around me. But I was public enough that I couldn't leave. And so I just had to close my ears and just sing to myself and look like that I was having a moment. Cause it was, I cannot ignore it. It's the worst.
That would be so horrible.
Yeah. My brother's, I remember, was the carpet on the roof of a car.
Yeah.
If your finger touched it. So as a kid, if I ever wanted to piss my brother off, I would just point at the roof. You want me to? Should I have a little scrape on the roof?
Can you whip some cardboard out? Using this?
Want to play this game?
Yeah. I bought you a gift. It's in cardboard.
Try me.
What is the most outrageous thing that you bought yourself? Did you regret it? Use it? Still have it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I bought myself. Do you guys ever remember the movie Blindside with Sandra Bullock?
Hell yes.
She has a watch in that movie. And at the time I was selling cars, and I've never really made a lot of money in life, but she had this watch, and it was a Chanel J12 diamond studded watch.
Okay.
And I'll never forget buying it, because when you go into Chanel at Metrotown or whatever, it's a locked situation. You don't just walk into the store.
Right.
So I had saved up selling cars for 4 or 5 months. And when you sell cars, the one thing that people look at is what you're wearing, and often what type of watch you have. It's this thing. And so everybody, they used to have Breitling watches, or a Rolex or whatever, if you were good at what you did. And so
a Timex.
No.
Watch.
A cat.
Yeah, a sweet Mickey Mouse Timex.
Right. So I walk into the Chanel store, and they were like, I'm sorry. They're on the mic. They're like, you may have the wrong store.
Did they really?
Down the street.
No,
but they definitely, they questioned me at the front. Yeah. And they were really close to me. But the watch was it was it wasn't the actual J12 one, because the J12 one was $12,000.
Whoa.
But they had this one beside it, and it was $7,000.
Wait,
and I bought it.
The watch
do you still have it?
$7,000.
It was $7,000, and it wasn't even the one that I really wanted. It had it didn't have the full diamond stud. It had one diamond on the ticker. But the rest of it was still a basic watch. And It was white. Oh, it was so pro. I'm sure you guys will Google it now. But anyway, an ex-girlfriend of mine used my car one time, and in the middle console, I used to have my 3 watches lined up, and she left my car door unlocked, and all 3 watches got stolen.
You've got to be kidding
that breaks
me.
my heart. That actually makes me feel sick inside for you. Fuck, that sucks.
Oh yeah, I was.
What
super
did you do
really
when you like? How did you react when?
I was just kind of like, well, somebody else is gonna love that watch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would have taken
like
a bat to her kneecaps. That's a different story. If I
know she felt so bad. She knew she felt so bad. But and the funny thing is the other 2 looked very similar. Like one was like a tortoiseshell one, and they were from Aldo. And so those other 2, I was like, yeah, we'll be fine if those other 2 get taken. But I'm sure they had no idea. Like they were probably like, these are knockoffs. But like the Chanel one was legit. And I bet whoever stole those had no idea what they had.
No idea. No.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna see if I can find this. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, I gotta see what this
watch. Oh yeah. Was epic, you guys.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
This is what it looked like. Okay, right now it goes for $8,457.
Hold on, yeah.
I like couldn't afford to like take the links off, so it just dangled real hard. You know, like, let me just get in the car. Anyway,
that's a gregreat story all around.
Man, that's a fabulous story.
Thank you.
Sad that it's gone, but fabulous.
Right?
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
So I've never had anything where I'm a diva on a dime, where if I find something for outrageous price, I will like hunt it down for 10% of what, the real price is. Now that said, I've made like those, like bought the $300 jeans that you end up being like, yeah, those don't even fit me that nice. And I don't know why I bought these, but just cause, but the one story that sticks out to me is when I lived in the Cayman Islands. When we'd get gifts from the parents for like Christmas and this and that at the preschool I worked at, they'd get you this gift certificate to Camana Bay, it was called, and it had a bunch of shops there. And one of them was this bathing suit shop. And there was this like bubblegum pink little bitty bikini. And I was like, I love it. And it was like $200. And I bought it with the gift certificates because I was like, it's not technically my money and I'm treating myself like this. So in the moment, it seemed like a good idea because I would never spend that on myself for a bathing suit at the time. I would always wait till they were like 90% off at that same store. And then I would buy my swimsuits because I couldn't afford that either. Anyways, anywho, it just so happened my mother and father-in-law were down and they're like, oh, what'd you get? And I brought it out of the bag and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, you just like put it towards it. I was like, well, no, that was how much, like it was the whole gift certificate or all of the gift certificates put together kind of thing. And they were like, how much was it? And I had to look at them and say, oh, 200 and some. And the look on their faces made me realize in that moment, like, this is stupid. This is a really stupid
You felt the judgment.
Yeah, it was just like, all of a sudden I just
bathing
saw
suits are expensive.
They are.
They are expensive.
Yes, and they still, but it was like, it just was through a lens that hadn't been indoctrinated enough to think that that was worth, because it's not. It's these flimsy little pieces of material that cost all of $10 at most, at the very tip top most. To see it through their eyes, I was just like, this is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing thing. I didn't show it. I was like, I like it. Well, here's the thing. It was like, no, I don't, because it was like, I don't even know how 1 or 2 wears. And it actually, the butt got super saggy on it. I was like, not for $200.
No.
Not for $200. So I ended up going and taking it back. And then I like scurried over, I think, to like the jewelry shop or somewhere else to use that gift certificate. But it has stood out to me of like, yeah, like it wasn't anything special. I was just like, you know what? I'm rolling in gift certificates. Let's get crazy.
I love that.
Stupidly bought it. So that's like one of those things where you're like, yeah, I don't think I'd ever quite be, I don't know. Yeah, it was a lesson for sure.
So I'm similar to you in that I actually loathe shopping. I'm normally pretty plain. I don't indulge, and I'm really frugal. Like, I think people would underestimate how frugal I am. I have a lot of trouble parting my ways with money, unlike my husband. So thank God. Balance. But that aside, I accidentally made an outrageous purchase, which was essentially like $220 cucumber sandwich and tea. So in my former job, like sometimes you would get gifted experiences if there were things that were new. And so I had like an invite to be like, yeah, come for this high tea experience, what have you. Awesome. It was all arranged. My mom was in town. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take my mom. It's going to be lovely. And we had a really nice experience. They pour the tea, get a little tower with some sandwiches, and lovely, lovely. And then the bill comes, which I was not expecting a bill, to be honest. And I hadn't researched in advance. It was $180. And so I remember just opening it and then being like, is something, but obviously something wasn't communicated. And then you're just like digesting, being like, okay. And then I'm putting my card down, being like, okay. And the thing was, my mom and I had such a lovely time. I'm like, I don't want to tell her and ruin this lovely time. But inside, because it's me and I just don't spend frivolously like that. I don't dine out very often either, because I'm always, to me, like what I spend, I'm always like, well, did the experience justify the cost kind of thing? And sometimes it sucks that I think that way, but it's true. I do. And so I literally feel sick as I'm putting it down. Of course, then you need to leave a generous tip on the said things. But inside, I'm like, you didn't even really cook anything. It was cucumbers and cream cheese. And so I like sign, I pay for it, and I walk out. My mom, it's your mom. She can tell you're not right. And she's looking at me, everything okay? Da, da, da. And I was like, I'm going to tell you what happened, but I don't want you to feel bad, which of course she did. But literally an hour later, oh my God, the jokes. We were just dying laughing about it. Just what else can you do? And we still text each other when I'm like, oh, we're going out or what have you. She's like, shall we do tea? Like, so it made a really lovely memory out of a very expensive mistake and misunderstanding. But it was a tough pill to swallow at the time.
What place is this? So I know. Is it near Vancouver?
I'm like, I won't say it. Just right. But yeah.
Maybe they'll make up for it, send you free shit.
You'll know. I just, maybe look at a menu before you go. And
I'm surprised you had to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, here's the awkward thing. What am I going to do? Then take it up with them and be like, excuse me, the way this was, I wasn't expecting a bill. Then you just sound like an asshole.
I want 50 off.
So I was like, this is one.
You got a real nerve not making me read the menu and prices beforehand.
The nerve.
Like, I wasn't going to pull up the email from the correspondence and be like, actually, I just...
You know what's a big splurge? Getting your hair done in old Vancouver. Costs $400 and plus dollars to get my hair colored without even a haircut. He's amazing. He is a magician. But holy man, every time it makes me literally, my stomach just go like.
Just to get my hair shaved is $60.
What? Gav does his own fade now.
I'll do it for $20.
Gav is genius.
Like, literally, I always tell him, I'm like, he would just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should continue. Fades are like an art. So much money in it.
Well, it's funny. We have a guy at the gym that always tells him, because he went to barber school and then he was like, who cuts your hair? And Gav's like, I do. And then he's like, you need to do this. And then after I was like, Gav, you need to be a barber. And I
totally
his life, but he's just really sunk into the male manning, which is also cool.
That's fair. Looks good on it.
Bravo.
You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Get Moto.
Whoop, boss it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com. And in the meantime, full tanks, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
Plus, it'd be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.